So here's a pivot. And you can go first on this one. Um, should Habib Nurmagomedov be in the GOAT conversation?
All right, I feel like you letting me go first here. You're kind of giving me the rope to hang myself here, because like the viewers might not be aware of this, but like, let's just say I have very strong views about this individual in particular. I'm probably going to get roasted alive for this. And again, I have to state that who the greatest fighters of all time, they're a subjective thing, and I completely understand that. In this case, I think that anyone that has not just Khabib in the conversation for GOAT, but on GOAT Mountain in general, is displaying next levels of nut riding. Now, Khabib was a great fighter. He was dominant while he was there for sure. But for me, there are so many asterisks against him. And I don't even have him in my top 10, let alone like in the GOAT conversation. So the first and most obvious one is his CV. Now, John Jones's opponents have a combined record of 417, 171, right? GSP's combined opponents is even better. They had a combined record of 494 and 71. And you can make a strong argument that they both faced better competition throughout the entirety of their careers. Now, Khabib's opponents' records were a combined 295, 114, which in comparison to anyone in the top 20 is shoddy, but still not bad, you know. Now, a lot of Khabib nut riders, though, are going to bring up his undefeated record first and foremost. And they're going to say, he never lost, he's the GOAT. When you look at his first 16 fights, so he had, 29 fights, was it? His first 16 opponents had a combined negative record of 4-1. 4 losses to 1 win, his first 16. Now, the narrative that he never lost a round is complete bullshit as well. He arguably lost to Tabao. He had every takedown stuffed in that fight. I think he made like 18 attempts or something like that, and got outstruck in every single round. Consider who he fought in the UFC as well. He fought Dos Anjos, Al Iaquinta, Barboza, McGregor, Poirier, Gaethje, and Michael Johnson. I would argue 3 of those guys are elite. He also only defended his belt 3 times. He fought an average of once a year at the top of the sport in a weight class where he had clear physical advantages. Now, if Khabib had stayed around and fought for longer, could he have been the GOAT? Very possible. He didn't. His CV and what he achieved pales in comparison to the likes of GSP, John Jones, Mighty Mouse, Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo even. I'd even say Volkanovski's, I'd argue. You can even make a case for Daniel Cormier having a better CV, you know? And for the record, just to show that I'm not a complete Dagestani hater, I think that when Makhachev's career is said and done, he's going to be a lot further into the conversation than Khabib could, ever was or ever will be. So it's not a case of me just hating on the region. Just for the reasons that I've discussed, I think that he's nowhere near it, in my opinion. People can roast me what they want for it. I can take it.
That is a hot take, if I've ever seen one. But I agree with you 100% because of... Yes, absolutely. So, and it's for everything that you said. Like, I feel like people put Khabib in the GOAT conversation based on potential. They put him in there because of what he could have done. But when it comes down to the facts, he didn't stick around long enough to do it. And that's okay. That's fine. He's fine with it. But when it comes to the facts, he defended his belt 3 times. Benson Henderson defended his belt 3 times. So what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? I have him, I think he's loosely in the back of my top 10, but I don't have him top 5. I don't, because you how can you say that he's better or had a better career than Demetrius Johnson? How? Like, it makes no sense based on him being dominant. I mean, he was dominant, sure, but Shaquille O'Neal was dominant. Dude, is he considered better than Michael Jordan and LeBron James? No, he just isn't. You have to show up when the lights are the brightest and do the best. And he did his best when the lights were brightest, but he didn't show up as many times. And that's what it comes down to. He just wasn't out there enough times. If he would have continued, maybe. But I agree. And we've talked about it before. I believe that Islam right now is a better fighter than Khabib. I just believe that. He's more dynamic. And I think that when all is said and done, if he continues on this path, perhaps goes up to welterweight when the time is right and gets a crack at that belt and takes it, I would probably already start to put him above Khabib. And that's just the facts. You know, his legacy is untarnished, but it just doesn't, it pales in comparison of GSP, Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo, John Jones, and Mighty Mouse. He just doesn't sniff those to me.
And I would like to point out as well, he's not the one saying it. He's not the one saying I'm.
He's not.
He's so not. I would like to point that out. Me. It sounds like I'm completely trashing him. It's not like he's ever come even close to saying anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, he's not that guy.
He's definitely not.
So I do need to point that out.
That.
Yeah. It's not him.
Yeah,
It's that fan base, that toxic fan base he seems to carry around with him.
Man, and that fan base is insane. Good Lord.
They are.
Good Lord.